Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a moment, just for a second, and close your eyes if you can. Breathe in, breathe out, and right now, I want you to think about something very, very important. I want you to think about you, the real you, the you that's waiting behind all the doubts, the fears, the things you've been told you couldn't do. I want you to think about the you that is meant to rise, meant to shine, meant to make a mark on this world that no one else can make. That person, my friends, is already inside of you. Yes, already inside of you. And today, right here, right now, I want to talk about something that is going to change how you see yourself forever. Today, I want to talk about a journey, the journey to your best self. Now, some of you are sitting here thinking, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm ready. But let me tell you something right now. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have a map that's perfectly drawn, because the journey to your best self begins the moment you decide that you are worth it. It begins the moment you decide to stop listening to the voices that say you can't and start listening to the one voice that matters most, the one inside of you that says, I can, I will, I must. I remember the first time I truly understood this. I was sitting in a small room with nothing but my thoughts, and I realized something that shook me to my core. I realized that every limitation I had been living under, every fear I had been carrying, every I can't I had believed, it wasn't mine. It didn't belong to me. It was borrowed from people who had their own fears, their own doubts, their own unfulfilled dreams. And when I understood that, when I truly grasped that the only voice I needed to obey was my own, I felt something awaken inside of me, a fire, a hunger, a drive that said, you're not coming here to play small. You're here to grow. You're here to soar. You see, the journey to your best self is not about perfection. It's not about waiting for the right time or the right conditions. No, the journey to your best self is about courage. It's about persistence. It's about showing up every day and saying, I'm not who I was yesterday. I am growing. I am learning. I am becoming more than I ever imagined. Every step you take, every small victory, every lesson learned, even the failures, they are all part of the path. They are the building blocks of the person you are meant to become. Now, I want to talk to those of you who are carrying scars. I want to talk to those of you who have been beaten down by life, by circumstances, by people who didn't see your worth. I want to tell you something very clearly. Your past is not your potential. Your past does not define you. It may have shaped you, it may have taught you, but it does not limit you. You have within you a reservoir of strength that you have never tapped into, a well of potential that is deeper than the oceans and taller than the mountains. And the moment you decide to tap into it, the moment you decide to embrace it, the world will stand up and take notice. Because when you step into your greatness, people see it, they feel it, and they can't help but be inspired by it. You see, too many people live their lives in quiet desperation. They live in the shadows of their own greatness. They settle for what is comfortable, what is familiar, what is safe. And they forget something very important. Life is too short to be small. Life is too precious to waste in fear and doubt. You have been given one life, one heart, one mind, and you owe it to yourself, to the people who love you, and to the world to live it fully, to stretch beyond what you think is possible, to chase the dreams that scare you, to run toward the things that make you feel alive. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but it's not that easy. You're right, it's not easy. The journey to your best self will challenge you. It will test you. It will push you to the limits of your endurance. You will stumble. You will fall. But here's the truth. Every time you fall, every time you face failure, you are given a choice. You can either stay down or you can rise stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. And the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who do not is simple: the willingness to rise, the courage to try again, the refusal to quit. And let me tell you something else: you are not alone on this journey. No, no, no. There are people around you, friends, family, mentors, even strangers, who are waiting to see you shine, who are waiting to celebrate you, to lift you up, to remind you that you are capable of far more than you think. And the more you step into your power, the more you inspire others to step into theirs. The journey to your best self is not just about you. It's about the ripple effect you create, the lives you touch, the hearts you inspire. I want you to look inside yourself for a moment and ask a very honest question. What is your story? Not the story you tell others to make yourself look good, not the story you edit to make yourself feel safe, but the real story. The story of your struggles, your triumphs, your fears, your failures, the moments that brought you to your knees, and the moments that made you stand taller than you ever imagined. That story, my friends, that story is your superpower. Yes, your story is your superpower. It has the power to move hearts, to change minds, to transform lives, starting with your own. Now, I know some of you are sitting here thinking, my story isn't special, my story isn't worthy, my story is too painful, too messy, too ordinary. Let me tell you something right now: no story is ordinary, no story is too small, no story is too broken. Every single life carries the seeds of greatness, even in the moments that seem like defeat, even in the chapters that feel like shame or loss. Because your story is not just about what happened to you. It is about what you do with what happened to you. It is about how you take the experiences, the scars, the heartbreaks, and turn them into fuel, into wisdom, into something that lights up the world around you. Think about it for a second. Every great leader, every person who has inspired millions, every person who has left a mark on history, they didn't start at the top. They didn't start with everything figured out. They started with a story that was uniquely theirs, a story that shaped their character, honed their resilience, and ignited their purpose. And the same is true for you. The same is true for me. Our stories, as painful, as messy, as beautiful as they are the foundation of our power. I remember a time when I was carrying my story as a burden. I was ashamed of where I came from, of the mistakes I had made, of the doors that had been closed in my face. I wanted to hide it, to erase it, to pretend it didn't exist. I thought that if I could just bury my past, my future would suddenly become perfect. But what I learned, and what I want you to hear, is that the moment I stopped running from my story and started owning it, everything changed. The moment I embraced every chapter, every heartbreak, every failure, every triumph, I realized that those experiences weren't holding me back. They were the very things that gave me the strength, the empathy, and the insight to move forward. Owning your story means you stop giving the power to others to define you. It means you stop letting past mistakes, past failures, or the judgments of others control your future. It means saying, yes, this is my story. Yes, this is my journey. And I am going to use it to make a difference. When you do that, something magical happens. You step into authenticity. You step into confidence. You step into a space where nothing can stop you because you are no longer trying to be anyone else. You are no longer comparing yourself to anyone else. You are simply being the best version of yourself, using the unique experiences that no one else has lived to guide your path. And let's be honest, life will test you. Life will throw challenges in your way that make you question yourself. Life will give you experiences that seem unfair, that feel unbearable, that push you to your limits. But I want you to understand something very deeply. Those challenges, those painful moments, those setbacks, they are part of your story. They are part of what makes your journey compelling. They are what gives your voice the power to connect with others, to touch hearts, to inspire hope. People don't remember the ones who had it easy. People remember the ones who rose from the ashes, who fought through storms, who refused to quit even when the world said they should. And here's the thing, you don't have to wait until you have achieved everything to use your story. You don't have to have reached your dreams to start inspiring others. You can start right now. Your story is already happening. Every challenge you overcome, every fear you face, every time you choose courage over comfort, you are writing a chapter that someone else will read and say, if they can do it, I can do it too. You may not see it, you may not realize it, but your journey already has the power to change lives. I want you to think about the people around you for a moment. Think about the struggles they are facing. Think about the burdens they are carrying, the doubts they are wrestling with, the dreams they are too scared to chase. And now realize this, your story, your experiences, your journey could be the light that guides them. Your vulnerability, your honesty, your courage, it can inspire someone to take the next step, to rise above their fear, to believe in themselves again. That is the true power of owning your story. It is not selfish. It is not boastful. It is not about saying, look at me. It is about saying, I've lived, I've learned, I've overcome, and if I can do it, you can too. Too many people hide their stories. Too many people pretend their struggles don't exist because they are afraid of judgment, afraid of rejection, afraid of being seen as weak. But let me tell you something, the moment you embrace your story, the moment you stand in your truth, you become unstoppable. Weakness becomes strength. Pain becomes purpose. Scarcity becomes abundance. You take all the pieces of your past and you turn them into a tapestry of resilience, courage, and hope. You turn what was meant to hold you down into the very thing that propels you forward. And you see, when you embrace your story, something else happens too. You gain clarity. You understand your purpose in a way that no book, no course, no mentor can teach you. Your story gives you perspective. It shows you why you are here, what you are meant to contribute, and how you can make the greatest impact. It teaches you empathy because you've walked in the valleys of struggle. It teaches you wisdom because you've survived the storms. And it teaches you courage because you had no choice but to rise each time life knocked you down. Let me ask you, how many times have you thought, I wish I could go back and change my past? How many times have you wished for a different beginning, a different set of circumstances? A life without pain. I want you to hear this loud and clear. Your past is not a mistake. Your past is not a crime. Your past is not something to hide. Your past is the foundation of your power. Every failure you endured, every heartbreak you survived, every loss you experienced, it built you. Every difficult moment shaped your character, sharpened your mind, and strengthened your resolve. And when you finally embrace it, when you finally own it, you turn the very things that were once your burden into your superpower. And here's another truth: your story will evolve. Life will continue to test you. New challenges will come. New fears will arise. But every chapter you add, every lesson you learn, Every obstacle you overcome will only make your story richer, deeper, and more powerful, and you have a choice with every chapter. You can write it in fear, doubt, and regret, or you can write it in courage, hope, and resilience. You can let it crush you, or you can let it craft you into someone stronger than you've ever been. I want you to imagine for a moment the impact your story can have. Imagine the person who is sitting in the dark, feeling like no one understands, feeling like giving up, and then they hear your story. They hear how you fought, how you struggled, how you overcame, and suddenly they feel hope. Suddenly they feel courage. Suddenly they feel like they can rise too. That, my friends, is the superpower of your story. That is the gift that only you can give. And the more you embrace it, the more fully you live it, the more powerfully you can share it, the more lives you will change. So I want you to take a moment right here, right now, and make a promise to yourself that you will no longer hide your story, that you will no longer apologize for it, that you will no longer diminish it, that you will embrace every chapter, every twist, every turn, every setback, every victory, and own it fully, that you will see your life not as a series of random events, but as a journey that has prepared you for greatness, that you will see your story not as a burden, but as a superpower that has the ability to inspire, to uplift, and to transform.